Hello, my name is Robert O'Flynn. I currently work for the YKLP, that is Yunnan Key Laboratory for Paleobiology, and I'm here to talk to you about phylogeny. Nearly 180 years ago, a young English naturalist named Charles Darwin set sail on board HMS Beagle. What Darwin learned on his 5-year voyage led directly to his development of the theory of evolution by natural selection, a theory that has become the core of the science of biology. Darwin's voyage seems a fitting place to begin our exploration of biology, the scientific study of living organisms and how they have evolved. Before we begin, however, let us take a moment to think about what biology is and why it is important. This is the most exciting time to be studying biology in the history of the field. The amount of information available about the natural world has exploded in the last 40 years, and we are now able to ask and answer questions that previously were only dreamed of. In this lecture, we attempt to draw a contemporary picture of the science of biology, as well as provide some history and experimental perspective on this exciting time in the discipline. In this introductory chapter, we examine the nature of biology and the foundations of science in general, to put into context the information presented in the rest of the module. The study of biology is a point of convergence for the information and tools from all the natural sciences. Biological systems are the most complex chemical systems on Earth, and their many functions are both determined and constrained by the principles of chemistry and physics. Put another way, no new laws of nature can be gleaned from the study of biology, but that study does illuminate and illustrate the workings of those natural laws. The intricate chemical workings of cells are based on everything we have learned from the study of chemistry, and every level of biological organization is governed by the nature of energy transactions learned from the study of thermodynamics. Biological systems do not represent any new forms of matter, and yet they are the most complex organization of matter known. The complexity of living systems is made possible by a constant source of energy, the sun. The conversion of the energy source into organic molecules by photosynthesis is one of the most beautiful and complex reactions known in chemistry and physics. In its broadest sense, biology is the study of living things, the science of life. Living things come in an astounding variety of shapes and forms. The biologist studies life in many ways. They live with gorillas, collect fossils, and listen to whales. They read the messages encoded in the long molecules of heredity and count down how many times a hummingbird's wings beat each second. What makes something alive? Anyone could deduce that a galloping horse is alive and a car is not, but why? We cannot say if it moves, it's alive, because a car can move. It certainly is not alive, although we cannot define life with a simple sentence. We can come up with a series of 7 characteristics shared by living systems. All organisms consist of one or more cells, often too tiny to see. Cells carry out the basic activities of living. Each cell is bounded by a membrane that separates it from its surroundings. All living things are both complex and highly ordered. Your body is composed of many kinds of cells, each containing many complex molecular structures. Many non-living things may also be complex, but they do not exhibit this degree of ordered complexity. All organisms respond to stimuli. Plants grow toward a source of light, and the pupils of your eyes dilate when you walk into a dark room. All organisms can grow and reproduce, and they can all possess hereditary molecules that are passed to their offspring, ensuring that the offspring are of the same species. All organisms take in energy and use it to perform many kinds of work. Every muscle in your body is powered with energy you obtain from your diet. All organisms maintain relatively constant internal conditions that are different from their environment, a process called homeostasis. For example, your body temperature remains stable despite changes in outside temperatures. All organisms interact with other organisms and the non-living environment in ways that influence their survival, and consequently, organisms evolve adaptations to their environments. The organization of the biological world is hierarchical. That is, each level builds on the level below it. All the cellular level atoms, the fundamental elements of matter, are joined into clusters called molecules. Complex biological molecules are assembled into tiny structures called organelles within membrane-bound units we call cells. The cell is the basic unit of life. Many independent organisms are composed only of single cells. Bacteria are single cells, for example. All animals and plants, as well as most fungi and algae, are multicellular, composed of more than one cell. The most basic level is that of tissues, which are groups of similar cells that act as a functional unit. Tissues, in turn, are grouped into organs, body structures composed of several different tissues that act as a structural and functional unit. Your brain is an organ composed of nerve cells and a variety of associated tissues that form protective coverings and contribute blood. At the third level of organization, organs are grouped into organ systems. The nervous system, for example, consists of sensory organs: the brain, the spinal cord, the neurons that convey signals. Individual organisms can be categorized into several hierarchical levels within the living world. The most basic of these is the population, a group of organisms of the same species living in the same place. All populations of a kind of organism together form a species, its members similar in appearance and able to interbreed. At a higher level of biological organization, a biological community consists of all the populations of different species living together in one space. At the highest tier of biological organization, a biological community and the physical habitat within which it lives together constitute an ecological system or ecosystem. The entire planet can be thought of as an ecosystem that we call the biosphere. Biology as a science brings together other natural sciences such as chemistry and physics to study living systems. Life does not have a simple definition, but living systems share several properties that together describe life. Living systems can be organized hierarchically from the cellular level to the entire biosphere, with emerging properties that can exceed the sum of the parts. I hope you've enjoyed today's introductory lecture. I look forward to seeing you in lecture 3.